Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about how to create a predictable, systematic sales process that doesn't make you have to chase clients all over the internet or be some sleazy salesperson. So I'm definitely going to break it all down in just a few. But before I do, my name is Jana Nixa, for those of you who don't know me, and I am the conversion queen and the authentic sales coach. And so what I do is I really help you have that consistent client flow, just like we're talking about here. And I'll tell you what my steps are, but what I do with my clients is truly walk them through making them the human sales funnel in their business so that everything is dialed in so that they get that continuous flow of client stream. So we're going to really talk about that today, which is why it's weird to say it and then have to say it again. So I spent over 2 decades in the sales world, and after 40,000 plus sales calls, millions of dollars sold, here's what I can tell you about sales that you probably don't know. And that is everything you think it is, it's actually not. It's the opposite of that. For anybody that's actually done this for an extended amount of time and been really successful at it, all the pushy bro, sleazy, manipulative tactics and strategies, those are short-sighted strategies and not long-sighted strategies. And so when I came into the space and realized that so much of what is being taught here is like ancient and not really helpful, particularly in something like a coaching relationship, that it's not like a wham, bam, thank you, ma'am kind of a sale, I realized there was a real opportunity to help you guys see an entirely different way to sell that isn't about agendas and isn't about convincing and it isn't about just posting content all day and hoping people jump into your inbox either. So let's break it down, shall we? So the first thing is we have to be in the right energy. And I know I talk about energy all the time, but if you're in there and you're all in fear and trying to do lead generation all over the place, and what do I need to say? And I need the people to come to the thing. Like, people aren't attracted to that. Like, think about the needy girlfriend or boyfriend back in high school. Like, need I say more? We cannot approach our business in this way, right? It has to be more of that, like, I attract, I don't chase energy. Okay. And that's going to be throughout your entire process. However, there is a lot to say about what attracts, okay? And it isn't being consistent and adding value. It goes a lot deeper than that. It goes into fully and completely understanding your ideal client inside and out, what makes them tick, what their hot buttons are, what do they want? And when you know all of that, all you have to do is actually give it to them. I know it's simple because it actually is, but you have to spend the time to actually know what that is and stop creating the offers that you want to create, right? That your ideal client needs, but isn't willing to invest in. And that's what a lot of people do. And then they spin their wheels wondering, Jana, why is it not working? I'm buying in and out of all of these programs, but I can't get clients. And it's because you're missing these fundamental pieces. So step one is your energy, right? We're not needy. Buy or don't buy. I'm good either way. I attract, I don't chase. Okay. Step two is you've got to put together a high ticket offer that your ideal client wants and is willing to invest in. So many times I see people doing this. Okay. So I really want you to sit and ask yourself, if you're looking at your offer, are you just nodding your head like, yes, this is exactly what they want. I have done my homework. I know this. I would take it to the bank all day long. If you can say that with 100% certainty and conviction, and that conviction comes out when you're on sales calls, then it's not your offer. So we have to move on to next. The next piece in the human sales funnel is, sorry, I just ate a protein bar. So I feel like I have stuff in my teeth and I want to smile. The next part of the process is your messaging and your packaging. Okay. So if you're not packaging, I don't care how great your offer is. It can be the cure for cancer, but if you're not packaging it in a way that your ideal client understands that, it doesn't matter. So you may have the right offer. You may have it dialed in on what they want and what they're willing to invest in, but you're speaking to them like a PhD when they've only got like a first or second grade understanding of what their problem is and what their solution is. So while you're up here thinking if the smarter I am, the more people will buy, but what you have to do is you have to come down to their level and then help elevate them to your level. And that's what's so key about your languaging and your message when you're creating content, when you're coming on places like a YouTube channel or you're going on a podcast or wherever it may be, is we have to learn how to speak to the problem and how our solution addresses that problem in a way that they understand. So packaging it up properly is so, so very key. And there's all sorts of things you can do here to make that work, right? This is not a creative writing exercise. There's all sorts of ways you can do market research and utilize ChatGPT, looking at other people in your niche and seeing what they're doing. And so these are things that I dive really deep with my clients inside my program, Limitless Expansion, because the high ticket mastery program, I walk everybody through this 6-figure blueprint that I'm laying out here for you all today. So to recap, again, you've got to be in the right energy. Like if you're, in your ego, if you're in lack, if you're in, I have to make everything happen in a bunch of attachment, it's going to be really difficult to get clients consistently because you're holding too much fear, and like attracts like. So the clients you are going to attract are other clients that are in a lot of fear. And guess what? When people are in a lot of fear, they don't buy. So it all starts there, guys. Woo and do. I can't stress it enough. Then we have our offer. We have validated it. It is dialed in. Our message, it is converting. We know it's exactly what our hot buttons are for our ideal client. And we get busy doing our conversion content around it, right? Conversion content is what's going to actually get people onto the call. Because yes, whether you like it or not, you own a business, you are the CEO, which means we have to learn how to do certain skill sets. And sales is the number one skill set that you got to learn in order to be successful in business. I don't care. Maybe you're going to have somebody else do your sales down the road. Maybe, whatever it may be. But at the end of the day, you got to learn to talk to people and you got to learn how to have effective communication skills. And the more effective you are, the less selling there has to be done on the back end. Okay. So getting really good at that conversion content, handling those objections up front, like priming your audience so that they're ready to buy, helping them see the problem and the solution through a different lens. Like all of this is what goes into that conversion content process. And again, when your messaging is right, and you can create content that points back to your offer, people will hop on a call with you. And you can't call it the discovery call or those sorts of things. Like people aren't into that. They've been there, done that. But what I found that works the very best for my clients is a mini solution call. Like out of all the different parts of your offer, what is something that you can do to like give them a quick like win on a solution call? So for me, it's like I'll audit your offer. In fact, anybody listening to this, drop audit below and I will audit your offer for you. Okay. On a call, I'll tell you like where you're missing and where your hits and misses are. Okay. So that's it, right? That's the mini solution. Obviously, that's just one part of the pie, right? That's just one step in my process or one pillar in my offer, one step within my system. And so what you are able to do by taking people through this process is you absolutely go deep. You go super deep on this one piece, the piece that they want more than anything else. But then it's up to them to say, start to think like maybe there's more to it, right? And so when you're explaining to them and helping them, you're helping them see that there's obviously more to it. Like your offer isn't going to fix your whole sales problem, but neither will leads. You guys, hear me. If there's anything you hear of what I'm saying to you today, it is that adding more leads to a broken sales funnel is not going to fix your problem. You are lacking clarity. You are lacking clarity in how you help, in the messaging and the communication. You're lacking conviction in your offer. You're lacking confidence on your sales calls. So all of that is not going to translate into clients. I don't care how many leads you throw onto the fire. It's kind of like you have a car, but if you don't have the gas, it's not going to go. And you can go and buy every strategy out there, every car out there. But if you don't have the gas, which are the skills I'm talking about today, getting clients consistently is going to be a challenge. Ask me how I know. So instead, we have to focus on the fundamentals. Write that down. Focus on the fundamentals. Fundamentals being the messaging, the sales, the learning how to bring people through that customer buying journey and onto a call. Until you understand that, it's simple, but it's not easy because it's a development of skill sets, right? And so once we do that, then the last piece of it is learning how to close them on a call. But here's the kicker. You line up these other dominoes really well. By the time they get to the sales call, they're ready to buy, which is what you want, right? But if you don't know how to do that, of course, that's something that I help my clients with so that they can stay out of their ego, so that they can stay. Go watch some of my other videos on authentic sales. But we cannot be in our ego. If you don't like sleazy sales and closing hard and doing all of those things that most traditional sales coaches teach, you have to learn the non-egoic sales process, which is my authentic sales process. And it has you staying in your heart, keeping your ego at bay, and actually showing up and making the person on the call the most important person in the room, making their problems your problems to solve, making and understanding their languaging in their words and demonstrating to them how what you do can help them. Okay. And so then it doesn't become convincing. It doesn't become, what can I say to get them to buy my thing? Right. It becomes, how can I best serve this person? Because it isn't about you, it is about them. And when you can demonstrate that, and when you can demonstrate in a mini solution call how well you can do this, then they often will ask you, well, tell me more about how you help people. Right. And so that's what's so key in all of this is learning how to take people through this process. And as you can see, it builds on one another. And notice I didn't mention just posting content. If we post content with no sales process tied to it, you're just an influencer. And as not just influencers are great, don't get me wrong, but a lot of them are broke because they don't know how to do this. So if you think leads are going to fix your broken sales process, they are not. But the cool thing is, it's just a few simple things to learn in order to be able to do this effectively. And so that is what I really wanted to leave you guys with here today is it is simplifying to amplify. If you're doing a lot of different things, spreading yourself thin, running around, excuse me, it gosh, in low ticket, hustling your butt off. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be able to talk. If you're running around hustling in low ticket, trying to make this all work, I would really recommend that you reel it in. You focus on one high ticket offer. Go through the process that I've laid out here for you today. I can promise you that this is going to take you way further. Because if you want to make 10K months, 5, 10, 20K months and beyond, It's going to be a lot easier to do dialing in these few skill sets than it is to be trying to like sell to thousands of people in low ticket. Okay. So dialing it in, getting clear as a bell on how you help people and that offer, getting it optimized for conversion and learning how to speak to it in a way that absolutely gets and commands the attention of your ideal client in a noisy marketplace. And then learning how to take them through a simple sales process where we're not sleazy, we're curious, and we're neutral. And then helping them make the decision they already desire to make. That is what brings in clients consistently. You get so good at this that you can just go and post something. I'm going to do a mini call. You don't call it a mini solution call, but I'm going to go do a call. I'm offering this type of call for somebody if you're having this problem. If you want me to audit your sales process, if you want me to look at your offer and tell you whether or not you're on the right track, if you want to master your messaging, like all of these simple solution calls, people will get on a call with you. Now, let me be clear. I would be remiss if I did not answer this or at least speak to this as the authentic sales coach and the conversion queen. And that is, don't bait and switch. Never, ever bait and switch. If somebody comes to a call with you, they are looking for answers that you promised that you would provide. Do that first. Make sure that they feel locked and loaded on that. And then, still haunting me. And then you can go back once you've done all of that, and you can just say, ask permission to sell. You can say something along the lines of, I help people with this process. Would you like to hear more about how I do that? And then you can go and launch into your pitch, if you will. But again, at that point, you've given so much value and you've really heard and seen them, and they can tell you're not operating from this ego-y agenda of like, when can I swoop in there and do whatever it is I do? And when you do it in that way, people will buy. And when you prime them in the way that I'm suggesting, more and more people will come to calls ready to buy. So what it's really about for you is getting in the reps, working with somebody that knows what this process looks like and can give you feedback and actually help you get better, instead of walking from one strategy to the next, to the shiny object here to there. It's never the strategy. I'll never say never. It's almost never the strategy. It is almost always the skill sets that you're lacking in to implement the strategy, mainly sales, communication, messaging, knowing how to put an offer together that people really want. Okay. So once you have those, you can take and apply any strategy to it. We were just on a call with my coaching clients inside my group, Limitless Expansion, and I just taught them a new strategy. And it was so simple because now they already have the tools. They already know who they're talking to. So they'll know how to name this thing. They'll know how to go about getting people into it. They'll know how to like communicate about it. They already know how to pitch. They already have their offer locked and loaded. So they just have to basically take this idea and apply what they've learned inside my program. And now they have a brand new strategy to run. And so in a world focused on here's the strategy, if you want more clients consistently, I would really encourage you to work on the skill sets that you need and those gaps that you have where you're not able to implement the strategy. Because once you have those, you can apply it to any strategy. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I really appreciate you guys being here. Wanted to give you a heads up. In the show notes below and in the description, we are going to be having our first challenge of 2025. Basically all about what we've been talking about today. Okay. It's the Sales Accelerator Challenge. And we're going to be diving into each of these concepts each day, all the way from your high ticket energy, all the way to how to close them on a sales call. So if you're interested in this, definitely check the links below. We've got a waiting list right now. And for anybody that comments VIP below, I have a special gift for you. Okay, so I will see you all next week. Thanks for stopping by. See you soon. Bye for now.